Hi and welcome to the Happiness Safari podcast. Happy New Year 2022. I hope you had a wonderful start and first day of the new year and are ready to kickstart this year with some new fresh energy and inspiration. I'm so happy you're back here on the podcast. If you want to start your year in the most mindful and self-loving way, it is not too late to join our 30-day happiness challenge. All you need to do is to join our Facebook group. We are already more than 100 people in there. You will get a small task, question, or exercise each day to make sure you start the year motivated and empowered in a loving community. I will put the link for you in the show notes. Today, I'm sharing with you the first interview of the year with Maria, a beautiful and inspiring lady I met in Portugal. How we met was quite a funny story. We connected on Instagram and met for coffee to discuss new yoga projects in Lagos. During our conversation, I fell in love with her passion, joy, and love for life, so I had to invite her on the podcast. Maria was born in Cabo-Verde and grew up between Lisbon and Munich, where I am from, where she started her yoga practice in 1998. She has stayed on this path of self-transformation since then. She's also a qualified massage therapist, bodyworker, trauma healing, breathwork facilitator, fitness and Pilates instructor. Her approach to yoga goes beyond the physical practice of asana. Maria truly believes that yoga is a way of living, a perfect tool to help to connect to our true nature of happiness and contentment in the daily life. And I think she is a living example of practicing what she preaches. Maria and I spoke about her journey of discovering yoga and becoming a yoga teacher, how you can move from fear to feeling empowered, how you can find the light in a difficult situation, why it is not important how many materialistic things you own to be happy. We also talked about how laughter yoga can help with depressions. We talked about motherhood and so many more topics. I cannot wait to share this interview with you. I must apologize for the sound. It was one of my first interviews without a professional microphone, but you can also watch it on YouTube. There you can also see her beautiful smile, and I'm sure you will fall in love with her just the way I did, because her passion and joy for life are contagious. Enjoy the interview. Today I have wonderful Maria here with me.
Hello.
Nice in Lagos in Portugal. And for everyone who cannot see us, we're sitting together on a couch. Beautiful weather outside. And just enjoy the coffee. And now I'm so happy to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. We just got to know each other so 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But it was a very happy coincidence or synchronicity, as we would like to say, right?
Yeah.
Because it was really Liverpool to come together, and it was immediately we felt so good with each other. We are both yoga teachers. I'm also a yoga teacher. I live in Lagos since more or less 10 years. Before I lived in Munich, which is actually the city where you come from.
Which is
what another coincidence. Exactly. And it's the city also where I started my yoga practice. Before I studied mass media, my dream was to work on television, which I did in Munich. Yeah. I worked for ProSieben. I learned German. It's difficult to learn it. And then I moved from television to sports. Yeah. So I did my course also in German, was always learning, beautiful. And then I did teach in many studios, and parallel I started my yoga practice. I was married at that time. And then we moved to Lagos all together. In the meantime, I had a daughter. She grew up here. And here I could dive a little bit deeper into my yoga practice. I had my beautiful teachers here in Lagos. I started teaching in their studio because I was every day in the studio. Also because in there were difficult moments then because my marriage was not going very well. And that was the path that I took. There was like the most amazing path to go through all of these difficulties I had to go through many years. But that helped me deepen my yoga practice more and more. And it was like what really helped me to stay healthy, to stay grounded, and to move on. Yeah, and then I went to India already several times for more education. I kept teaching or sharing. I would like to say more sharing than teaching because it's a learning process that never ends. And yeah, that's the path I've chosen, always recognizing that there's so much to learn.
So much to learn.
So much to learn, yeah. But I can say that when I look back, I'm really happy that I've taken this path. Yeah.
So
it
you
was
would
like
say
a calling.
now you are where you're supposed to be.
I like to believe. I like to believe so that and when I do believe that gives me a greater sense of peace.
Yeah.
Because then you realize there's nothing to resist. I'm there where I was supposed to be, where my path brought me till now. Yeah. All of my choices, most of them was not aware which consequences they will have in the future. But because we keep learning, now we have that awareness, we have that knowledge. So it's more being present and realizing the choices I make, and always thinking this is like planting a seed that will bring the results in the future. So, you are more aware of how you lead your life, how you really, if you decide to be happy or not.
Yeah.
It's also a question.
But it's such, a beautiful story, and I think that's also something I learned now, and like speaking also to many people, is that sometimes, as you mentioned, like a difficult time as well, like we have to go through something to actually kind of find ourselves on the other side. Or
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So would you say that was for you, like yoga kind of helped you on that path more towards yourself?
Yes, and also to face those difficult moments and to gain consciousness of what was going on. So, and to recognize you have that strength is within you, but you also recognize your vulnerabilities, your pains, and what is holding you into a not so good situation. And then you also gave me that sense of you have the strength, It was a good way to move from fear into feeling empowered towards the unknown.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing that happened. And afterwards you go like, why didn't I do this before? Because sometimes I thought the feeling was sometimes we don't believe that we have that power, that we have that strength. Or I also had the feeling I was afraid of stepping into that power.
Yeah.
But when you know what to do with it, and go from that place of being fine with yourself, with others, with the situation.
Yeah.
That's your power that you're expressing, and having power is nothing bad. It's very positive. It's like feeling your 2 feet on the ground and now to walk. So I think it's more that how I feel it.
And did you notice, was there like a moment, or do you just realize this now when you're looking back that there was a shift then that you believed in yourself and you actually let go of the fear of having the power?
Sometimes life just goes like this and throw you into the cold water, and then you say, oh, actually, it's not so bad. It's that fear going into the unknown. But I think that's very human. But on the other side, there was no other way out. When you have to, you have to.
Yeah.
And I think that's sometimes a good thing, especially for us human beings, because we are so afraid of changes, because the unknown, what's come next, you know, like why do many women or men stay in a marriage or in a situation that is not healthy for them anymore? Because it's like, this is what I know. What I don't know is like, you know, you don't dare, you're afraid, because it's like jumping in the dark. So you don't know. But yeah, once I read something very interesting. If you come to the edge of the cliff, just nice. You know, you don't know if you look down, if you get very high, then you don't want to jump. But instead, it's like everything is possible. If you come to the edge, you jump. Maybe there's another floor or a way to land softly, and the distance not so high. Or you may fall, but sometimes when we fall and things break, what does break? Maybe the ego, the fear, the arrogance. I don't know. Something we leave behind for sure. Definitely. Yeah. And I felt a kind of awakening because there were too many losses at the same time. So, and one of them was my mother passed away during those stressful moments. And that was like a difficult situation. But on the other side, for me, it was like suddenly I saw the light. Something happened. There was the shift, you know. Probably sometimes we have to go to the limit or to the border and then cross the border to another stage. I don't know. But I can just relate to myself, my story, my process, and I look back. And from then on, everything got better. Not that it's just a matter of roses and everything is beautiful, but my awareness, the way I see the situations, the way I give myself in situations and people, I think it got even better. Wow.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this. So very inspirational. Actually, I think the first official question I always ask every guest is, what does happiness actually mean to you?
What is happiness? Is it a concept? Is it a state of mind? Is it a state of life? It's vague, I think, but it can depend on different aspects, I would say. And that depends on the perspective of every person. What is happiness for me? Happiness is it's not an external thing that moves towards me, but it's something that I can experience, that I can receive, that I can breathe in, let's say like that. Because there's so many things that can give you the sense of happiness. Can be things that you accomplish, that I accomplished. For example, I'm a mother, and since I got mother, I was like, my biggest fear was like, will I be a good mother? And everything I did was for my instinct, for my gut, you know, and I think that was the best. And afterwards you read it in the book and it's okay, I did it like that. That makes me happy. But I was sure that I was doing my best, and that was good. And when I see the person that my daughter is these days, that brings me a lot of happiness. Not because I'm then proud of what I did, which I am also, but because I see the person that she became, not my reflection, but part of it and part of my input. And there was pain, there was this and that, but there was so many happy moments. See a person growing, try to see the world from the perspective of a child. So there are lots of things that for me bring me happiness, and for me it's curiosity. because I'm curious. I want to know about things. I'm interested about knowing people, going to different places and hearing things. And that is like, we could call it a search for happiness.
Yeah.
It's fulfillment, gives you sense of being alive. I'm happy when I have time to do a nice yoga practice by myself. That brings me happiness. When I honor my body, when I honor my needs, that brings me happiness. When I see people around me that I care for, when I see them happy, when I can help, Also, I'm a massage therapist. It makes me happy, genuinely, when people give me a nice feedback after the massage. If it's a message, if they just come like, oh, totally happy out of there, like, okay, somebody received something good.
So you're happy when you can give something.
When I can give, and quality giving.
Yeah.
And I believe that happiness is in the smallest things, also in a nice gesture, and for me, it's happiness can be in so many things, and I think that's the beauty, because we cannot resume, in my opinion, happiness this is happiness. Everything can bring you happiness. Every little moment. The smile of a stranger on the street, or somebody looks at you and says, oh, I like your whatever, or me, having the courage to say to somebody, oh, nice dress, nice, and I don't know that person, and we both end up smiling, and that's happiness. It's like making the best out of life, and smile.
Nice. Well, that's why I invited you, because I fell in love with your smile. So for the people are watching, you can see. And then you can also hear the smile from one cheek to the other. That's so amazing.
Yeah, and also maybe because the way I was brought up, that we didn't have much materially, but my mother, I was thinking about her these days, and she was never a woman that would complain or be in a bad mood. I can't remember that. She always had a nice word, and she had a hard life. She worked very hard for us, but she was always nice, especially to me, of course, because I'm the youngest.
How many?
At 5. I'm child number 5, born on the 5th day of the week, on the 5th of the first month of the year.
Wow.
So, number 5. And I was very bossy always, all the time, but she always respected me. Always. That's like the thing I'm so grateful to her, that she always gave me very much respect. And and compliments, and she was never mad at us. Really nice. Really, I must say, as a single woman taking care of her kids, working for other people, having to, bow herself down in life, but she still kept that dignity, that inner happiness. We used to dance together and have fun. I was like the little clown at home, making everybody laugh, and even in difficulties, there was always a sense of fun, of happiness, a joke. That was always nice. And when I think about her, that gives me a good feeling, really. And sometimes you look at people around you, and we relate so much happiness with having material things. And so you see, the more people run after the material, the more sad, stress. I think it's like the road to the opposite direction sometimes, and learning to, be okay with what you have. I used to think that I failed because my marriage failed. That's the risk of a relationship, but still, it was a long marriage. But it was not only my responsibility anyway in a relationship, but when I look back, there were very beautiful moments where if I can look back and see, I did my best and I brought positive input into the situation. That makes me happy too, because then I'm happy with myself, you know, and I think that's the primary happiness.
Okay.
That you're happy with yourself, with who you are, with whom you're becoming, you know, with who you want to be, how you're giving yourself to the world. And then if you're happy with that, everything will shine that same light, I think. Yeah.
So you're saying basically, I mean, now you summarized it beautifully, but being happy with yourself in the first place, but then also you mentioned curiosity.
Yes.
And I guess also I feel, as you described it, how you raised your daughter, but also how you've been raised, and I think especially as parents, like, I mean, parents always do their best. So I feel like, and also in relationships, I guess often we forget, like when we're looking back, that we always have done our best in that given moment. So of course after, it's like easy to say, you know, I could have done it better or in a different way, because there comes a different form of understanding. But I think maybe the knowing that, you know, we've done our best at that
with
time.
what we have at that time. Yes, that's it. But the purpose of life is also to evolve somehow.
And then maybe you can always do a mistake, but don't do it twice. Like then, you know, you failed. If you do the same mistake twice, okay. But if you do it once and you learn from it, that's good.
The bigger mistake will stay too long. Keep trusting the other that it's going to bring something, you know, like, are you growing too? Because I'm growing, let's grow together. If it's not happening, also, it makes us happy also on the long term, I would say. To just say, okay, it's not working, but it's difficult. We're humans, we get attached, we feel empathy for others, and we wish so many things that don't happen. Because sometimes we project happiness in things that are unrealistic. Because we dream. It's good to be a dreamer. I was very naive and very dreamy. And I still. And I really don't want to lose it.
No,
you know, because I still have my 2 feet on the ground. I take my responsibilities. I go for my life. But I also learn to, you know what, you don't have to stress, to have more to stress because, you know, I didn't do so much. I did what I could. I'm happy with that. And tomorrow, you know, I have time to do more. I keep time for myself. I enjoy myself. You know, I indulge going to yoga classes. Also, not only teaching. I take some dance classes that make me kind of recharge my batteries. And then I know that I'll be a happier person. And my environment will be happier. So that's, I think, how I generate my happiness and my sense of happiness.
And it starts with yourself, basically. And I think it does start with ourselves. So if we are happy in the first place, then we also can give, right?
Exactly.
Because, now you also answered the second question.
Sorry.
Without knowing.
I tend to be ahead.
Which was what you do to be happy, but you basically said already what makes you happy is also practicing yoga, taking the time for yourself, or go to dance classes and do good for others and kind of spread that happiness. Anything else you would like to share?
There are moments where you may not feel so super happy, okay? Because we all have happy all the time, but that is in your luggage. You always have that. And some moments we have to face difficulties, emotions, because we are dealing with other people. We have different kinds of relationships. We have expectations, even if we try not to. We're humans. We have a heart. Then heart can be broken, can be hurt. But But yeah, that's the teachings in yoga to be aware of how we are feeling in life, what we're experiencing, and to stay with that, to stay with whatever comes, you know. And that has been the last 2 years, I think, in getting through some discomfort, but fully aware that it was not comfortable in that situation. But every day that, even knowing that you have to do more effort to, do your thing, go to your mat, practice, or go to life, or stay by yourself, even if you would like to do something else. Another day went by and you did it good, and you're like, that contributes a little bit more to a happy state, because I realized, okay, I have that inner strength, I have the capacity, because life is not only made of butterflies and fluffy clouds, nice moments, maybe it's important.
No, yeah.
And in those moments, then you realize, okay, but I'll breathe through it, I'll do what I need to do, or not, realizing what is necessary in the situation. And that makes me so happy that we could come to this point in my life, that you are more conscious about your choices, you are more in tune and know which process you're going through right now, so you own your life.
And also, I guess, like, listening to yourself, like, knowing what you actually need. And, like, when you're becoming more connected with yourself and more aware, as you said, and you actually know, okay, like, today I really need to practice yoga. Or, I don't know, I for example, have days and, when I'm on my period, for example, like before, I used to practice anyway. So now I feel like, okay, I know that it's much better for you if I rest and I don't do it. And, like kind of listening to our body and our emotions.
Exactly.
Knowing like when it's good to do something and when it's also good to do nothing sometimes.
Yeah.
And especially if you're very like active, kind of young person.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Although I love that yin thing, they take me time and feel like, okay, I'm going to do yin yoga practice. And when I do it, I'm like, well, I should just do yin yoga.
Yeah.
Because life is very young anyway. My life, we work more in the summertime when it's very young time of the year, practicing, driving, teaching, massaging, but so I take it differently. It's like, if I'm fine, everybody is fine around me. So I'm really kind of that selfish attitude. Buddha said something about that if I'm kind, it's like being kind to others in order to receive their kindness too. Yes. Yeah. And if I'm happy, and I come as a happy person, in the world where I act, it's like you get back what you give. So it's like, it's a circle, and then you feel like in that bubble, and you feel safe, I don't know, it's much easier. Even difficult or demanding situations become more easy if I have that point of view. And of course, I'm going to see more things, more happiness I will take out of those situations. And they don't have to be all of the time very pleasant situations. That's right. And especially because as yoga teachers, we become kind of preachers.
That's true.
Practice what you preach, because you have to show results. You cannot just come and blah, blah, blah people, you have to show. And be the example, because it's also a role that we took, and that's amazing that people look at us and they feel inspired. And that on the other side inspires me also to be a better person, to be a better version of myself, because that is what helps to really create a happy world. So that's what I think. I have this idea of how the world could be such a if it was all, and it doesn't cost much, it's little things, most of the time, little details.
Yeah, that's true.
When we're not so distracted with
all the achievement and
exactly.
the materialistic world. Because that would be a domino effect, basically. It's like, I mean, be the change you want to see in the world, right? And if everybody works on their own happiness and can express that, then it will spread all over. And you will touch one person, that person will touch somebody else, and so on. And then you don't have any stress.
And be more content. You know, before we're happy, I think contentment is very important. That's the ground for happiness. We're content. That's such a nice word, and it's a Portuguese word also, content, meaning more or less happy. But content is like German zufrieden. Which is fine with what is. Okay, today's not so good like yesterday. Like when you go to your mat and say, I'm so flexible yesterday, I did all of these poses, you know, and then you come back and you're so stiff. And you're like, okay, I have to work through this stiffness, knowing that if I do the action at the end of my practice, I have a different result than the beginning. So, it's a daily work. Work not in the meaning of putting too much effort, because it also should be genuine. I think that should be genuine. Or you fake it until you make it, which is also okay. Like in the laughing yoga, you know, at the end you're just laughing and really feeling that sense of happiness, although it started in a fake smile.
True. So if you guys haven't tried laughter yoga, it's amazing. So basically, you can provoke laughter, and when you do that, and you feel all these happy hormones that you're releasing, serotonin, and so your body actually doesn't know the difference between real and fake laughter.
Exactly.
That's why it's super.
And then it becomes very real.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point, it's difficult to stop. And it's a good massage for your internal organs, all the hormones,
abdominal muscles.
Abdominal muscles release all the toxins. It's very empowering. That's why, for me, laughing and music, I like elements of the happiness. It's like, you know.
So that's a good tip as well, basically. Like, laughing and getting yourself in a happy state, and actually, maybe finding happy music, maybe creating a happy playlist. Maybe I can put the laughter yoga in the show notes, so people want to look it up and find a course somewhere near you, or maybe it will be a session online, or there's YouTube videos as well.
That is good. You can sit alone at home, but if you have somebody like inspiring you on screen, it's amazing. I mean, I'm suspected. I can laugh.
Definitely invite you.
I want to be there. I did that already several times, and I also did it with my daughter when she was little. Good fun. She went to many yoga classes with me, and and the laughing was one of them. It's super, super good. I can just. It's very good if people think they're falling into depression or going through that moment in life. That is very good to fight depression also, and to uplift the mood, because all of your hormones change.
Yeah, that is true.
That's a good thing.
Okay, so now, if I have a very difficult question, maybe, if I would ask you, do you have like a moment where you would say this is the happiest moment, or one of the happiest moments of your life?
When the pain of giving birth was over, and then you see that little creature. So nice. That's so cute. I always remember that moment, and first thing I said was, "Oh, she's so beautiful." Really nice. That was the moment. Because I was very curious after 9 months, and you have that huge bump and something is moving inside, and you're curious how the baby's gonna look like, and then to see that light, that was amazing. Yes. being a mother, becoming a mother was very nice, although I was very insecure. How am I gonna be? You know.
How old were you?
I'm not gonna say. Okay, let's say my age.
Oh. Okay, I think I'm probably older than 35, but I know that your daughter is 21.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I was 14.
Probably.
Yeah, but it was so nice, and also having that little child that they're so playful. I'm still very playful.
Yeah.
I don't know that I may have got stuck in an age in my own childhood where I love to play, and it was beautiful times to play with her. So I think kids grow too fast, because we used to play a lot, go to the cinema, watch all the Harry Potter saga, the Twilight, all the comics on television, all together. We had good fun, the kids' songs. Yeah, that was a good moment. And from that moment on, life got better, also because she was present. And there's so many moments. Really, being in India, in the ashram, like when I traveled by myself first time, I was kind of like in the expectations and fear going into the unknown. It's such an overwhelming country and culture, but it was beautiful once I came to the ashram every day. And sometimes when I think about those days, I feel almost emotional. It brought me so much, those days, the months there, the practice of yoga, meeting new people, overcoming myself, my ego, those heavy practices. Also last time, it was intense, but it was so rewarding that it's like, wow, you just wish you could go back there, because those were amazing moments of very, very happiness. Yes.
Yeah.
Where you are by yourself, you're surrounded by other people, we have the same motivation, but it's just you and yourself going through in those moments. So I think that was, there are other moments where you feel super happy when you have a partner and you have a good connection, for example, together with somebody. I love the touch. I'm a very physical person. So there are all moments that bring me back like good memories. That was good. And but now that I learned to be in the present moment, more. Because it's a fallacy that we tend to go to the back and recall those good moments and still focus. Why is it not like this? Because life is impermanent, changing. And it's good also what makes me feel happy that I'm developing more and more the capacity of trust. Trust that things unfold. We're doing our homework. We're meeting people, we go on Instagram and say, oh, this girl, she does Bikram yoga. How cool. And that was you. And then I started following you. Another person talks about me. You text me. And I'm like, oh, it's you. We meet. And immediately, let's see what, And that's beautiful. I think if we all would be more open towards each other, I mean, every day we would just have moments of, sparkle, happy here, happy. And that becomes more and more contagious, especially now in this pandemic time, although it's getting so much better. But this is considered already a collective trauma. So we have to work together to support each other, because every nervous system is different also. And that's why even if we had trouble in our childhood or trauma, every nervous system will relate or react differently. Yes. And I think I'm a resilient person, already as a child. I'm like, I do what I want. That was me. But because maybe I had 4 others before me also, sisters and brothers. But nevertheless, nowadays it's like the ones who could cope better with the situation, really be there to hold all this together so we can move to a new level.
I think it's the same probably with like experiencing maybe depression or going through a breakup, or realizing that as well. Like we are all different stages in our lives, and also that we cannot be always happy, but when we are actually in a good stage, like we don't know if this can can change and something can happen, obviously. But also we have been there and we've been on the other side as well. And then when you come out and you are in a better place, then you can again help others who are in a different stage because of age or experience, or things just happen. We never know like when they happen. But I really like the saying, like we are all here to walk each other home.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think I like the collectiveness.
Exactly.
I also find it interesting because I think like always when speaking to mothers, this is usually what happens, and as a woman I can imagine that holding your child after giving birth must be like a very happy moment. But it's also very different to actually your experience in India, and I can relate to that like after or during my teacher training and how tough it was, but actually then having also these happy moments, they are like completely different, and they have nothing to do with the outside world and other people and just with yourself. And I find that very interesting that we can have that as well.
Yeah, it's building that relationship with yourself, knowing you can do it. That's the lesson in all yoga class, that people complaining and they breathe out like, they don't breathe out like that. It's like, soothe yourself. Soothe yourself. And then the next step you say, you're going to be more empowered and not in that position of the victim, And those moments of the suffering, breathing, twisting, almost crying, but then you come out and say, wow, I did it. And you did it from home for yourself. To become really empowered and to feel that we have that strength, we have the power, we have to believe in that.
Yeah, definitely.
We become also what we believe.
Yeah, that is also true. That is also true.
Yeah, and that's even the superpowers we have. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I read too many comics but now. I like the superheroes and think that we also can be Wonder Woman, whatever. We have it.
Which one is your favorite?
I love Spider-Man. He has this net coming super cool out of his head, and he can climb everywhere. And because I'm very much oriented to fitness and body shape and muscles and what your body can do. It's amazing. Our body is a great machine. But although people think, it's a machine, it does it by itself. No, you need to work it out, take good care of it. Yes, more important than your car.
And we usually, Germans, spend a lot of time taking care of their cars more than
a lot of people.
Cleaning it. From the inside, from the outside.
Paying attention to what you put in your mouth, what you speak out of your mouth, the quality of what we listen to, especially the news, the kind of movies and stuff not me, I don't have television. My daughter doesn't watch television since she was 9, because I realized she's getting too addicted to this. Although I just help her seeing educational stuff, but I just can't do that. She reads a lot. She's very clever. She knows a lot. She learned from books. I took her everywhere with me to interact with people. So she learned how to be in situations with people, how to behave, And this is what makes a human person. It's not just, we listen to the news, we get fear. The immigrants, the wildlife, and we start being afraid of other people. They're just a reflection of ourselves as a human being, So it's very important to filter what we hear, what we see, develop that critical mind, and be fully aware And knowing I suffer, you suffer. So if we help each other towards happiness, it's a better world than just, it's my happiness, and taking care of the body again, to be strong, to be healthy, to age in a healthy body is very important. It's another thing we in our society tend to forget. We take too much for granted.
We mentioned reading, and that your daughter's reading a lot, but I'm assuming you're reading as well. So that would lead into the last question. If you have a book which kind of, changed your life or inspired you a lot, you would like to recommend?
I was just thinking about that probably we would talk about books. I have books like most of them about yoga, food, health, self-development. I've been to all kinds of, from raw food to vegan, whatever. Did course. The moment we went into lockdown, I did a vegan plant-based course online, learned loads. I really liked all of that. I read some motivational self-development authors also. Most I hear podcasts, but one book that I really, really loved and read more than one time was The Little Prince and Siddhartha, The Life of Siddhartha.
Oh, nice.
Siddhartha is a very, very nice one.
Okay, put that in the show.
Siddhartha is very tiny, super cute, and some of the yoga scriptures, like the Bhagavad Gita, there are also interpretations of it. And I was just thinking these days I would love to do a course on reading those scriptures because the language may seem difficult to understand. Of course, these are all scriptures, but the message there. The messages are very important. But Siddhartha is super easy to read, and it's inspirational. The life of Buddha, how he came from being a prince to move towards enlightenment. Exactly what he had to leave behind consciously. Through his choice, realize going back to happiness. We don't need so much on our back to be happy. Actually, the lighter the back is, I think, the greater the sense of happiness we can experience. Not so much about the material.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and your wisdom.
Oh, thank you.
And you're
so happy. I hope there's something you can take out of this conversation. But it was very inspirational also for me.
I think really your being is an inspiration.
Thank you.
When people actually ever come to talk about it, and meet you and just your appearance, and if you're listening, maybe check the YouTube just for sessions.
And you're so kind with my Instagram. Because soon I am creating a different concept of yoga retreat, private one for people who want to come by themselves, take some time out just for yourself, to re-energize, to recalibrate, to find yourself. Or two people, you can come with a friend or a partner, and that's what I will be doing, offering accommodation and a guided week, 3 days, 7 days, 4 days, whatever you feel like. I give people that freedom, to just come and experience in this beautiful environment.
So beautiful.
So this is also a place where a lot of healing can happen, as you may have experienced. Beautiful.
I will definitely put that in the show notes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed this interview and you have a big smile on your face now. If you're in Lagos and you want to get in touch with Maria, I will put all the links in the show notes for you. Please make sure you sign up for the 30-day challenge and join our happiness community on Facebook. If you want to deepen your yoga practice in a beautiful setting and get out of your day-to-day life, join our yoga and coaching retreat in Diani Beach, Kenya in March. If you enjoy listening to the podcast, it would make me so grateful if you would leave me a 5-star rating and a review. Also, if you share it with your friends, because your feedback, your messages and comments on Instagram mean the world to me. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I wish you a wonderful beginning of the new year. Stay happy. Namaste.